moment that we concede the goal in the manner of it is disappointing, but then we have the whole second half to play, and we have some good moments, score the goal, and then we have some difficult moments, even though against 10 men when we should have kept the ball much better and play much more like the other 80 minutes that we play in the game.
3 goals and set pieces today. It was tough to defend, but I think everyone knows we're good at attacking as well, and the delivery of Deck was amazing, and I think the opportunity was there and I took it.
Tactically, technically, it was a very, very good team performance, but it's been let down by not managing moments. Same as Burnley, same as Leeds. And if we perform to that level consistently, we will win games. But if we just keep gifting goals away and not switching on in moments, then we won't achieve what we want to.
9 sendings off this season, that's not good, is it?
That's something I felt we'd addressed. We went 10 games without a red card, now 2 in 2 games. And that's a problem we need to solve. And the set play issue is something we need to keep working on.
The attitude that they are showing, the willingness to go for it and be very dominant, I'm very impressed with.
Just show that they're really focused on getting across the finish line.
Yeah, and living the present and enjoying what we are living. We are in March, we are in every competition, we are right up there, and that's what we want.
Really big win for Arsenal against Chelsea, but it wasn't a comfortable win necessarily for them. And Mikel Arteta had been saying that this is the kind of game where those set pieces that we've talked about with Arsenal all season were really, really important. When a game is this tight.
Yeah, I mean, how often are we going to say about Arsenal that when the games are tight, they ended up winning with a set piece? Chelsea were pretty impressive today. 59% possession. They tried to control the game for large parts. But ultimately, if you've got this armoury that Arsenal have, if you can score and make the difference from set pieces, then you take that opportunity. And that was the case again for Chelsea, for Arsenal today. Chelsea, for the majority, it was such a game of grapples and holding people all over the place. And just the one person at the bottom, Reece James, is marking Gabriel. He's not tight. He takes his eye off the ball. He's looking at Gabriel. Now he looks at the ball, and in that moment, that's the last time he looks at the ball in this passage. But in that moment, Gabriel's set off. Now he's got a problem. He doesn't know where the ball is. He doesn't know when the adjustment needs to be made. Arsenal have been great. They've run everybody across to create this 1v1 moment. And Reece James is so flat-footed because he hasn't got a clue where the ball is. Gabriel on the move. Arsenal know exactly where that ball's going. And in that moment, 6 Chelsea players taken out of the situation. Each Arsenal player is now on the right side of the defender. So once Gabriel wins that ball over the head of João Pedro, he could do nothing about it. Each of those Arsenal players are in a position. As Gabriel heads it back across, it's Saliba that gets it. It could have been Gyökeres. He was in just as good a position as well. And Chelsea could do nothing about it. So is it going to be the same pattern? Reece James tries to mark Gabriel a little bit differently on this occasion, but now we've got space for others. And Sarr does exactly the same defensively as his captain did earlier. He takes his eye completely off the ball, only notices it when it's far too late. Timber's got the march on him, gets in there first. Really good delivery yet again. Really good header. Because Sarr can't do anything because he's not looking at the ball. And for anyone who was questioning whether it was a foul on the Chelsea goalkeeper, I think we can see quite clearly it wasn't. Sanchez caused an awful lot of issue asking for that foul. It wasn't, but he doesn't care because his team worked on it. His team were impressive. And in another game of fine margins, that is the difference. And that is now the most winning goals from corners in Premier League history for Arsenal.
In a single Premier League season. And obviously we're still at the 1st of March. There's a long time for Arsenal to add to that total. You talked about the sort of the complaints after that goal, and they were because Sanchez was saying that he'd been fouled in the build-up to it. That was the first of the yellow cards that were awarded to Chelsea that led to the red card. But this is a problem for them in terms of not keeping all 11 players on the pitch, because 7, they're clear of Everton in 2nd place in terms of the most red cards in the Premier League this season.
Yeah, and in those games, 3 of those matches they were winning and went on to lose. 1 of the games they were winning and went on to draw. So it is becoming a problem. It is really affecting the games. And Sanchez's passion about thinking he's been fouled leads the rest of the team to really believe him. And despite Reece James trying to keep his team away, Neto is having none of it. He gets in the in the referee's face and picks up that yellow card. And once you've done it, you cannot follow it up with a tackle like that, Joe. It's just ludicrous.
Yeah, because he's been skinned there, not a problem. Then he just leaves his foot, and it's just ill-discipline. That's 2 minutes after he gives the referee absolutely no choice whatsoever. And Chelsea were in this game. It was a really good battle at the Emirates today. but you've got one hand behind your back when you go down to 10 men yet again.
Yeah, and those 7 games, 3 of those matches they were winning or drawing at the time of the red card, went on to lose. They were also winning against Burnley and then went on to draw that game. And when you look at that, not just compared to the rest of the table, but compared to what they will see as their direct competitors, the teams who are currently in the top 6, that's where the difference is most stark for Chelsea. The other thing that was a major factor in this game was the continued excellent form of David Raya and making big saves in big moments in this game. Is it better?
Look, the standard in the Premier League is frightening. Every single one of those goalkeepers is capable of the saves that I'm just about to show you right now. But what I love about David Raya is he's so disciplined, he's so meticulous, and his willingness to be in the right position at the right time and make the big saves when he comes to it. It's just a culmination of all the hard work, trust me, that he's doing every single day on the training ground. And today was no different. It was another really impressive performance from him.
So when you talk about his focus, just guide me to what we're looking for from Raya.
So I'm talking about here, this looks like he's just made a save out of nowhere. Look, your eyes go to Declan Rice and Hato. That was a different conversation. I'm not going to have it right now. I'm going to look at David Raya. Look at him involved in this absolute melee. Arsenal players, Chelsea players. He's not looking for any help from the referee. He's just trying to get himself in the best possible position to make a save. And what comes as we roll it on, it comes from a really strange angle, actually. Declan Rice raises his shoulder. He's got arms around him. Still, just that willingness to make the save. As we pause it here, you can't even see David Raya. Look how many bodies are around him. But not one point does he look for the perfect save. He's not in a good position. And bang, out of nowhere, gives everything. Every single fibre in his body is making that save. Here, another opportunity. I think it's Chalobah at the front post. Raya's in the position for the flicked header. As we roll it on, it doesn't end up coming in goal. First thought, get back across the goal. João Pedro cannot believe his luck. He's middle of the goal, 5 yards out, and David Raya makes a pretty difficult save, look relatively easy with his movement. And this is in 90 plus. Arsenal are 2-1 up. They need to win this game. Garnacho cuts in. He's a dangerous player. So Raya's first port of call, am I set for the shot? He's in an excellent position. Turns out Garnacho goes for that kind of corridor of uncertainty. As he leaves his foot, we've got Gabriel and João Pedro flying at this ball. Now, David Raya is in a perfect position at this point. So he's not looking for the end goal. He's thinking, if one of these gets a flick, I'm in a great position. Roll it on. This is when he gets to enjoy the save. No one's touched it. He gets to load up on that left leg. Watch him load up, fly through the air. Unbelievable save. And he's played another massive part in Arsenal being top of the league at this point at the start of March.
Top of the league, 5 points clear of City, who have a game in hand. It's in Arsenal's hands. It's also in Manchester City's hands because they have that game coming up in mid-April. What's your read on the title race as it stands at the moment?
Tight, really tight. I'm really enjoying it.
We all know that, Joe.
I'm just loving it.
Yeah.
You know, I've been in those situations before, and that ebb and that flow, and Arsenal almost letting their guard down a little bit with those results against Brentford and Wolves, and City just starting to push, both with scrappy wins this weekend. But look, it's going to be a really exciting end to the season.
It is going to be a fascinating end to the season with that big game, that big meeting between them coming up. Time now for February's goal of the month. Here are the...
One of Arsenal's heroes, David Raya, is waiting to talk to us live at the Emirates. David, well played. We'll come to your magnificent role in a moment, but from the team's point of view, how significant a win does that feel?
No, it's a massive win. Every win in this league is massive. So credit to the boys, the way we played. It's just incredible because we know how tough Chelsea are. So very, very happy with the 3 points.
And you must be delighted with your performance because you made some critical saves there today at some very important moments, David.
Yeah, personally I feel really, really good, especially coming off after the Wolves game, and it's just trying to bounce back to my normal self. So keep doing the same thing. So yeah, really, really happy.
And we're just seeing a couple of them at the moment. That one from Garnacho in the 92nd minute.
Yeah, that was very, very tough, especially 2 players going through the ball. So it was hard to see, but I managed to throw it away.
David, Ian Wright here. Congratulations, David. By any means necessary, I've been saying, but I've got to say, is there a worry in the second half of games that we seem to be, teams seem to be able to get at us too readily? For you to be making that many saves at that stage of the game when they're 10 men, is there a worry? Is there a worry? Is everybody worried there?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Going down to 10 men for them, it doesn't mean it's going to be easier for us, because they're a really, really good team and they know what they're doing. We just need to be a little bit more composed with the ball and make a few more passes, not trying to score in every single attack. Just make some passes, make them chase the ball. But after that, it's just the way we manage the game. So if they create the chances, I'm just trying to help as much as possible. And the defence were incredible today as well.
They were incredible at the other end as well, because what I mentioned for everyone, 16 goals from corners now this season as well. That's equalled the Premier League record already.
Yeah, it's just something that on a game like this, which is very, very, very tight, you can open up. And they score from a set piece too. So set pieces nowadays, they're really, really important, attacking and defensive. So we try to get ahead of it a little bit, but that doesn't mean we just play for them. We just have to finish our chances, because especially first half we played really, really, really well, but the score didn't show up like that.
Well, very well done today. That's a big win. Appreciate you joining us. Thank you very much.
Well done, David.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
What a performance he had there today. And next, Wrighty, they play together on Wednesday, City and Arsenal, kicking off at the same time, which is going to be interesting.
But again, like Arsenal know exactly what they got to do, and City know what they've got to do. It's a title race. It's on. You know, obviously, Arsenal would have liked it to have been a little bit more gaps in between with the points, but like it's on, and Arsenal know what they've got to do. City know what they've got to do, and it's exciting. Both ends of the table, if I'm totally honest.
Yeah, I mean, he's talking about managing the situation better against 10 men. Should it have been that nervy?
I don't think it should have, but I think when you look at Arsenal, the last few games, 4 or 5 games, it feels like that in every game, even though they've not gone down to 10 men in some of those. But you look at Chelsea going down to 10 men, and they seem to, obviously, they played with a little bit more freedom, but at the same time, you'd have thought that Arsenal would have been more organised to try and get amongst them, drop off them, get the ball, and then break into the areas where they can. But it just seems very, I don't know, very fragile. You know, I felt it. I mean, in the studio, I felt it. But like, in the end, they got over the line. But it's something that they've got to be worried about, because we're not finishing off games. We're not finishing off chances in the first half. I thought there were opportunities for people to take first-time shots or take the shots quicker. They didn't take them. And that's what can happen in the game. If the game goes like that, whether you go to 10 men or not, Gaffer, you know. You know, if you don't take the chances, and it's one, the other team will get back in it, 10 men or 11 men.
Yeah, Mikel was saying about we've got to learn. But they went down to 10, they went against 10 men at the Bridge. Yeah. So they haven't learned how to, and they got a point there. And Chelsea actually should have won that game. Again, they created quite a bit with 10 men. So they hadn't learned. They had a chance to learn. What would we do if it happens again? And they showed there that they were very nervous again. And it was one that they, as we said before, they got over the line. And you've got to do that. If you're going to win the league, if they're going to win the league over 38 games, you can't play pure every single game. But when your opponents, you know, go down to 10 men and you're leading the game
at home,
that's a different scenario.
Is that not understandable, given the fact that they're there to be shot at? They haven't got over the line yet in previous seasons.
Steve, it's understandable, of course, because they've not got over the line, and this is the 4th time they're trying. So what's happening is that maybe they're having the ghost of Christmas past. I don't know what's going on in respects of not being able to get over the line more comfortably than they have done in the last few years, and they've got a better squad. It's something that they've experienced it. They know what's going to happen at this stage of the season, and I think they should be prepared better for it mentally. Because what you're seeing in every game, whether it's against Wolves or Manchester City, there's a period in the second half that everything seems to go out the window, and our goalkeeper ends up saving everything for us. And I don't think it should be like that with the amount of experience we've got in the last 4 years, 4 seasons.
Yeah, well, they've been in this situation before, and they've blown it in a way. So they haven't really yet gone through that experience yet. If they win it this year and the same thing happens next year, they'll deal with it much easier. It's always. So
how mentally do they deal with it in these last 9 games?
Well, they've got to learn. They can't put their foot off the gas against Wolves. They're 2-0 up, 2-0 up in the second half, and suddenly their performance went completely downhill. Whether they thought they had won the game and we wrapped it up, it's only Wolves, but they're not playing Wolves. They're actually playing against Man City. 3/4 of the games because they've got to keep putting them under pressure, and they've got to take the title away from Liverpool and Man City, if you like. They've won it so many times. That's what we're aiming for. It's not about Wolves. And suddenly, bang, 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 it's 2-2. And their performance went downhill. Now, they've been tested and they've come back again. They've beaten Tottenham and they've beaten Chelsea today. 2 great responses. Now, if they hit a wobble again with a result, which they probably will between now and the end of the season with the cup games they've got in front of them as well, they've now got to they learn from experience. If you do learn, how did we react? We didn't panic. We did this. I don't like the word, they keep coming up with enjoy. We've got to enjoy this. I'm not so sure you can enjoy it. Yeah. I think you can embrace it. You embrace it, it's a bit different than saying you enjoy that pressure or we enjoy losing
You can only enjoy that pressure once it's done. You can look back and say, yeah, OK, we got through it, but you can enjoy it then. You can't enjoy this.
No.
There's no way that as we speak, that Arsenal team are comfortable whoever they're playing at the second half of games at the moment, not the way they're playing at the minute.
You can embrace it in the sense that you take it on. You endure it. You go through it. I'm going to enjoy doing that, but you don't enjoy the actual what they're actually going through when we're dropping points and things. They're trying to approach it in a way, let's enjoy the battle of even dropping points. Yeah. No, you embrace it, get through it and play and go again and learn from the experience.
Let's speak to a man you know well, our good friend who certainly enjoyed winning Premier League titles with Arsenal at the Emirates. He's always smiling, isn't he? Manu Petit is with... yes, that's you, Manu. Yes, thank you very much. What did you think of that today?
Hard win. I think Arsenal won ugly, but it's 3 points, 3 very important points. I think last week and today there was 2 big derbies, and they had to respond on critics, how they failed, mentally, and they did it. They got 6 points. I remember back in days when we were winning titles, how many times we won ugly as well. So. For me, the most important thing is to get the 3 points today.
Yeah, you've pointed to those before. When you've come off the pitch knowing that perhaps you haven't been in sparkling form, but you've won, sometimes you got more satisfaction from that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think if you ask this question to the Arsenal players, I think they will tell you that they would love to play differently and to get the 3 points. But I'm sure that Glenn and Ian will agree with me by saying that. The most difficult trophy in your career is the first one. So as soon as you win something, all of a sudden the experience and the confidence change like this, You press the button and all of a sudden that kind of moments you have on the pitch, you manage it differently.
So having been through it then, what I've just asked the guys here, for the next 9 games, how do they cope mentally better with this pressure?
Listen, I can't disagree with everything I've heard, so far for weeks now. I think Arsenal, are still first on the table. They have 5 points gap now. The big games coming, at the Etihad soon. They're still qualified on the four competitions. So far so good. I think if you tell me that it's worrying to watch Arsenal, sometimes they are sending. Worrying messages on the pitch, I just want to tell those people that Arsenal are first on the table. They've been leading the Premier League for months now. So if they can win like this at the end of the season, that's fair for me. Yes. Fair enough. People can try to find arguments, to make Arsenal weak sometimes, but I think they still win the games, important games, and they are first on the table. This is, for me, this is as simple as that, Actually, they're leading the Premier League.
And have been, Manu, since the beginning of October. They've coped with it. So with 9 to play and City have 10, how do you see it now? Do you see it going right to the wire?
I think, as I said before this game, I think quite the same that what we've done in 1998. I don't know if you remember, but we played the Premier League final away at Old Trafford.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure that Arsenal, we have to do that as well at the 88. I'm not sure that Arsenal will win every single game until the end. I'm not sure that City will do that as well. They have so many games to play. I think they will drop points, on the way. But I'm pretty sure this game will be probably the most important one.
Great stuff. Manu, great to see you again. Thank
Love you, Manu.
Indeed.
Nice to see you, Manu. Love to see you again.
Manu Petit. OK, the reason, of course, Arsenal were asked that big question because Manchester City did their job. Saturday evening, Ellen Road against Leeds United. 1 goal enough, Glenn. And what a signing this man has been in January. Antoine Semenyo.
Well, brilliant. But what a ball that is from Jerky. And a great little run. It's a wonderful goal. It just carved them open. And it's top. That's football at top quality, isn't it? Ian, you'd love his movement.
Yeah,
there,
it's just brilliant. Because, like, the thing with you look at Shirky on his weaker foot, the pass, and Leeds will probably think you can see a little space arrive, but Leeds will probably think we're okay here. But then the quality to put it in there, and then the run off of Semenyo, the great ball in from Aït-Nouri, that's all it needs. It just needs 10-15 seconds of Man City's best, and they open you up, bam, the game's over.
And that's all it needed for Manchester City to win again. Antoine Semenyo's 6th goal in all competitions since signing for the club. And here is his manager's reaction, Pep Guardiola.
1 game at a time. Recover now, started the real season, that many games, people tired. And when you play in teams like in, they are down or playing for Europe, so every game is really tough. Yesterday, Wolves won, so Premier League is more competitive than ever, and every game is a real battle. But it's important for them. We make an incredible step to qualify for the Champions League next season. It's the main target in the, for the club, because in the last 10 years, always we have been there, and the only team in the Premier League, and we take a little bit gap. It's not done, but a big gap between the other teams, and this is the first step is massively important.
But historically, at this time of year, you've shown in the past that your teams really put their foot down now. And do you have every confidence that this is a team that looks like they're going to do that again?
I cannot less. So what happened in the past is the past.
Yeah. But what about this team now?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. You want to tell me what's going to happen in Nottingham Forest? I don't have an answer for that. So when we won 13 or 14 games in a row in the past to win the Premier League against Liverpool, I never know when we start this run we want to win 13 or 14 games in a row. It's just 1 game at a time. Now recover the people. We'll see. Have 3 days. And after we have a FA Cup, thank you so much to let us play at 8 p.m. instead of 3 p.m. because I've had less recovery to go to Madrid. So again, thank you so much. And this is what we have to live, but we're going to deal with that.
Yeah, that's the FA Cup next weekend, and this is what both of the top 2 have up and coming until, of course, match week 33. They meet each other at the Etihad. They play at the same time on Wednesday evening, and as Pep was mentioning there, Forest at home, while Arsenal are at Brighton. Then they're both in FA Cup action away at Mansfield and Newcastle, respectively. Real Madrid and Leverkusen, those games in the Champions League. City go to West Ham, while Arsenal are at home to Everton. And then, of course, as I say, the EFL Cup final, they meet each other as well. Then in between the Wembley and the Etihad meetings, City have got to go to Chelsea, while Arsenal are at home to Bournemouth. Now, when you glance at that, with 4 competitions, it is going to be fascinating, isn't it?
I still feel that there's something says to me that they're going to meet in the Champions League as well. I just feel it's just, when you get
those type of season, doesn't it?
Yeah, you just feel one of the seasons where you just get the same team continually in different things, and I just feel that might happen. Hopefully not, but we're looking at a City side that they do look like they're in that flow of consistency, and so Arsenal need to make sure that they're in that as well, because they've got to see them off.
I think the cup games might have a say in it, because they've got City have got Real Madrid. Leverkusen isn't the Real Madrid.
No.
And in the FA Cup,
Newcastle.
Mansfield's not a Newcastle.
Yeah.
So that might have a say in it as well. But I think if one of them goes all the way to the final, I think it might have a play.
What about the winners at Wembley before they play each other at the Etihad?
I'm not sure that's going to... No. I think they've both got there, so it's a one-off 90 minutes plus extra time, penalties, whatever that may be. That is a sort of park that there. We both worked hard to get there, and let's go and win it. I'm not sure if you lose that game, you go out of Wembley losing that game, you go, oh, that's it, we've blown the league. or you've still got both teams, whoever loses that final has still got a very exciting season to go through, and still got the FA Cup, they've got the Champions League, and they're fighting for the league, the two-horse race. So, it's not a big blow. It's not a massive blow. A blow, of course, but you want to win a final, but it's not one that's disaster.
OK, interesting. Well, City have...
In the end, it all comes down to the result. But if you look at the performance, was there a lot to like from Chelsea today?
It's been the same story for the last 3 games. Performance. You have performances to get results, and it's the same story. It's the same story. In the ascendancy in all 3 games. And we just, honestly, we're together, because what I never do, if we win or lose a game, is start pointing the finger at players, but it is clear what we need to improve. It's not our football, it's not our attacking play. Our goalkeeper makes some incredible saves today. We need to make sure we are ruthless in both boxes, and to concede 2 goals from corners and to get another red card, that has been the story of our season, and it's been the story of the last few games.
So the defending from set pieces, sometimes the delivery is so good, it looks so hard to stop. What more could you have done?
The first goals are very good, top. Give Arsenal, they're fantastic, probably the best team in the world at set plays. If you don't think we have not worked on set plays all week or spoke about them, and you'd be crazy not to. The second one is the one that's disappointing. We just have to deal with that moment better. We have to be stronger. We have to have a better mentality. We give a free kick away before that, and then we give a corner away when we're in control of the game from a sloppy moment. But you can see, I don't want to keep coming out here saying all of the good that we do, because there is a lot of good that we do. We're here to win games of football, and we need to solve that before we go to Aston Villa.
And I know it's really difficult for managers to stand here, and you're not going to want to single out individuals, but when you're talking about we need to deal with that second corner better, do you mean the goalkeeper?
I think it's a culmination, the marking, the zone players, the positioning, the goalkeepers involved. I'm not singling out. I don't single out players, and what I do is address it in a dressing room. I address it in the training ground, and I think it's clear to everybody who watches us play where we need to improve. On top of what is a lot of good things in the game.
When a team repeatedly makes the same mistake, and obviously, of course, like you say, you're working on it. Reece James has just been in. The players have talked about all the red cards. What's happening there? It's a mental thing, I guess?
Yeah, I think it's a very difficult thing to put your finger on. We get paid to try to win games of football. If you think we haven't tried to address that, it's crazy. We're trying to address it. And I think sometimes you have to learn from consequence, the pain. I felt the consequence of the pain of dropping 2 points against Burnley or Leeds when we're 2-0 up, and would have switched us on today against a very good set play team, and it hasn't. And that's been the most frustrating thing about this afternoon, because we come off the pitch with no points. I don't want to stand here and talk about all of the good things tactically, technically that we did in the game, of which there was a lot, because we haven't got any points from the game.
Is that what you say to the players as well? I'm sick of telling you that you played well when you've not got any points.
100%, 100%. It's a really frustrating one today. Because I felt the setup tactically was very good. I felt we got into the areas that we wanted to get into. I felt Arsenal didn't cause any problems other than set plays today. They're great at them. And we didn't stand up in the moment we needed to, and that's why we've come away with a defeat.
I know you said you didn't want to talk too much about the tactical aspect, the things you did well, but can you just go into something for us? Cole Palmer off the left and then drifting in, it seemed to create a lot of space for him, and throughout the match they found it really hard to play through you. Tell us how you did that.
I don't really want to. I don't want to give away what we do or why we do it. We just felt that we wanted to be compact in our shape, and Cole Palmer's a magnificent footballer. We want to give him freedom to go and express himself and create, but I don't want to talk about the good of our tactics or what we did today, because I'm bitterly disappointed we haven't drawn a game, let alone won the game, which we could have done.
Their corners were a big threat. Your corners were also a big threat. You scored from one. You had a couple of quite big penalty appeals from others, and looked at especially that one from that side with Reece James in swingers. Did you think you might have had a penalty?
I haven't seen it back. I genuinely haven't seen it back. What I would say is there's been a lot of talk about holding, how you mark in the box. I haven't seen many referees give anything in those moments. I have to give their goalkeeper credit, because he made probably 2 or 3 absolutely world-class saves. But in the end, it's just a bitterly disappointing day, because we came here with a game plan. We felt we could execute it. And again, we haven't, because we haven't had a good discipline about us, and we've given away 2 goals from set plays.
And lastly, how big is the job ahead? Because you've got other tough fixtures to come, and you've got a bit of a gap now to the other Champions League teams.
The great thing is we're playing them. If we solve the problem, if our level of performance, Burnley, okay, maybe a little bit disappointed. Leeds today, if the performance level is there and we solve this problem, we have a great chance. It's very, very simple, but we have to solve the problem yesterday to make sure that happens.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Quite emotional.
Well, he's not holding back there in his assessment, Glenn.
I think he's very honest. I think that's an honest assessment. He's not digging out people, but he's saying as a collective they've got to put it right, and they're not far from putting it right. You know, he's lost since he's taken over 3 times to Arsenal. Ironically,
They're his only defeats.
Yeah, they're the only defeats he's got, and there's a lot of good things. I think what sometimes you can beat yourself up too much. Arsenal are top of the league. They've gone into their house and they've performed really well. I thought over 90 minutes they did okay, more than okay at times. Down to 10 men, and if they went down to 10 men and it was like total Arsenal just controlled the game, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. You know, Raya made some unbelievable saves and they got themselves in fantastic positions, Chelsea as well, with 10 men. And I think that's where I think Arsenal, you know, the first 20 games of the season were solid. You couldn't get through them. As well as they were playing going forward, scoring goals, set plays, you couldn't create anything. You couldn't create much against them. My word, you know, that's not the Arsenal at the moment. At Wolves, at Brentford, today, you know, that you can get at them. That's why there's a bit of nerves hanging around in that stadium at the moment. And Ian's saying what he's saying, and so there is although they're top of the league, there's a story behind the story. Do you see what I mean? They're opening.
Is that forward or just at the end of the book?
Well, that's a good point. I think we're just about going into the back 9, as I said. 9 games to go. Let's say we're going into the back 9 in a major on a Sunday.
Yes. What do you think about Chelsea since Liam Rosenior came in?
I think they obviously look like they're doing a lot of work on the training ground in respect to what they're doing. They look very sharp. I think that there's still a team that's very much, especially coming away to someone like Arsenal, that will play on the counter-attack. Even though they have got players who can, for me, like we saw when they went down to 10 men, they can easily play through a team. I don't know how they're going to do that with that goalkeeper, if I'm totally honest, because I think that there's so many opportunities where he probably will cost them, and he could have cost them today, but I'm looking at a Chelsea side that only need maybe a couple of experienced players, especially at the defence. I think they definitely need a goalkeeper. I think the midfield's fine. Up front, maybe. Another top striker, if they can get that. But I think 3 additions to that team, and I think they're starting to challenge. No trouble. No problems at all.
Yeah, it's the goalkeeper. I would disagree a little bit over the season. He's impressed me during the start of the season. He's saving, he's done some good things with his feet. I'm looking from last season, I'm thinking, wow, he's improved. He's got better. He looks more assured. He's simplifying.
You're not going to ask you, though, don't you?
No, but today, from the first...
Can you win a league title with Robert Sanchez?
Well, possibly not. And they're not ready to win the league title at the moment, at this moment in time, outfield and goalkeeper.
But going to where they want to be...
Well, if he kept improving, yeah. But today, from the first minute when he gave the ball away on the edge of the box, he got away with it, didn't he? Do you remember? First minute.
Yeah.
He went back to how he played last year, instantly. So that consistency, if he thinks he's cracking it, no, he's got to go back to basics again, because he has improved. Whether you can win a league with him is another issue. I understand what you're saying, Ian, completely. But I think you've got to give credit where it's due. If you analyse his games this season, he's made some unbelievable saves and saved points. Rather than giving points away, which he was doing last year, he's actually saved them points. That's when you've got a good goalkeeper.
Yeah.
When they're saving you points rather than giving points away. Look at Man United, the goalkeepers they've gone through recently that were giving points away. And now they've got a steady goalkeeper. They've got a basis to go on. So, yeah, I mean, that team isn't anywhere near ready to go and try and win the league, but it's a very good side that, I agree with Ian, needs experienced player. You know, the Brazilian Silva, if he was there at 35, that's what they need. Someone then at that, to just, the youngsters, just put them around the camp. Don't panic. We can do this. We can do that. And then you learn from what those type of players, experienced players.